Julius Alpha Kalubu, the Operations Manager, Chalazinga Initiatives, at the same time Operations Manager in the Ministry, on the Office of the Minister of Chalazinga Affairs. Today we are here with religious leaders and cultural leaders discussing about how we can help our communities. So for us as the Busoga Kingdom, we moved ahead. We are already implementing the mandate of the Chalazinga being a goodwill ambassador in the fight against teenage pregnancy, early marriages, ending high school dropouts, using the term or the campaign Abasada Nempang, meaning men are the pillars. So in this campaign of ending teenage pregnancy, the Chalazinga guided that we look at the men as the head of the families. So as a kingdom, we are moving through all the 11 chiefdoms that make up Busoga Kingdom, going down to the sub-counties, going down the villages, such that every community is aware of what is taking place, knowing that as men, they are the pillars, knowing that they are the leaders of their families, they are the leaders in actually educating their children, they are the leaders in making sure that these children, especially the girls, instead of going to town centers in the evening where they are tempted, they are at home and they are in school. So the Chalazinga thought it prudent, after being nominated by the UN agencies, that we can reach out to these men, such that this message for him to disseminate this message, it is through different platforms. For example, we can use the mosques, we can use the churches, we can use the different gatherings, the media, which are very crucial actually in disseminating the information. So as we move forward to making sure that this message goes down to the communities, we appeal to each and every partner, the religious leaders, the community leaders, local leaders. Now that we have partners like the Faith for Family Health, we urge actually such initiatives to take place in these communities, such that we can help the needed, the vulnerable. Being vulnerable doesn't mean that you don't have what to eat, you don't have what to dress, but you are vulnerable to any activity that can harm you. So these girls, these young girls and the children actually at large, they are vulnerable. So when we, as we work Chalazinga, when we say Abasada Nempang, we are meaning we are empowering the men to be actually the pillars. We are empowering the men to make sure that if you have your children, make sure they are at the right place in the right time, such that we avoid these challenges of so child is pregnant. So why would a child of 13, 14, as it has been depicted in the media, be pregnant? So for sure, it has actually caused a bad image. So the Chalazinga is working tooth and nail to make sure that this vice ends in Busoga.
I'm Bishop Egesa Stephen, District Bishop Born Again Faith, Bojiri District. I want to take this opportunity to thank God that we've had a 3 days workshop with the Faith for Family Health. We thank the government of Uganda for allowing such organizations to come up with the ideas that can support, that can help, that can mobilize, that can help the people as far as health matters are concerned. In the 3 days, we've learned a lot of things, but I would just want to mention that at least one of them that we've learned is about the issue of family planning. Now, in many cases, people have mistaken the word family planning for only the family planning methods or contraceptives. But at least we've learned that besides you having those contraceptives, there is a planning for the whole family. Therefore, we don't need to throw everything in the rubbish, but we have to pick out what we think is right in this concept of family planning. And not only that, on the issue of the youth, so many youth have gone astray simply because they lack information about their health, about their growth, about everything. And then we end up saying the government has not allowed the parents to discipline their children simply because we've not taken our responsibility as parents to guide the youth in the right direction. Now, the other part of it is about the pregnant mothers. In most cases, men have done a job of making sure they are getting children through these mothers. But when it comes to time of the gestation, when it comes to time when the mothers are pregnant, they need support. They need support in a way that they are weak, they're vulnerable, therefore they need the money's or the husband's support. So one of the things I'm going to do as a born-again faith leader in Bujiri district is to mobilize, to agitate, to make sure the men are aware of their responsibility in this area. Not only that, and we also needed to take information to those that are lacking as far as health matters are concerned. Like the Bible says in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, that my people are destroyed because they lack information, they lack knowledge. We want to go and disseminate this information that at least the people are not getting astray, people are not getting lost, people are not dying simply because they lack right information about the health matters.
By name, I'm called Pastor Valiko Samuel for Seventh-day Adventist Church, Jinja District, and as well as working in the office of Station Director. We have been here at Jinja Seasun Hotel. We have been going through a workshop of 3 days where we have learned the area of faith for family health, that is 3F, HI. We are so grateful that we have gone through a series of topics on health, and especially how we can take care of ourselves, actually self-care. We have learned on sickle cell, we have learned on mental health, we have learned adolescence, older person, and what I've learned I would actually like to go with as action points. We are supposed to take care of ourselves, especially some people they don't want to take care of themselves when it comes to sickness. People, they fall sick, instead of visiting the professionals of health facilities, they just consult wiki crops, they just consult even us religious leaders. They come to us for prayers, but I would like to let you know that when you fall sick, you need to understand, you need to know how to take care of yourself. Number one, go for screening, go for medical checkup, go for testing. That's when you can discover which type of sickness you are suffering from before you consult anyone for counseling. So it is very important to know your life stand, to know your life, how are you standing.
Hello everyone, I want to send a shout out to Faith for Family Health Initiative, Makerere University Public Health Department, and also in conjunction with Ministry of Health. We want to appreciate them for this opportunity they've given us to partner with them as religious leaders in a workshop that has been looking at self-care, self-love. We want to appreciate them that because each one of us, it concerns us. You are a victim or a victor of these areas. Remember one time when you really lacked self-love or self-care. The Bible, in the Gospel, we have the story, the Gospel of John, we have the story of the Samaritan woman who went to the well. And while he was at well, he met Jesus, who interrogated her. And at that point, it was a turning point. Beloved, we live in a world where many of us are victims of self-care and self-love. We deny ourselves, and yet this is part and parcel of us. So I want to call upon you that take a moment and offer yourself this self-care and self-love. In so doing, you are able to heal yourself and to reach out to the people around you. Through this training, we've been able to tackle a number of areas of concern in our community. Areas to do with non-communicable diseases, areas to do with adolescents' health, areas to do with the elderly and their health, areas to do with HIV and STIs, to mention but a few. And all these areas concern each one of us. As an individual, when you look at HIV and STIs, it is one area that robs you of your love, that robs you of your dignity. And so I call out to you all, let us be partners as we reach out to people in our communities, in our localities, in our congregations that are undergoing this issue of HIV and STIs. Today in our communities, thanks to the development partners and all well-wishers, we have opportunities where we can engage in self-testing. You can access it and do a test by yourself, or you can reach out to the various health centers in our localities where they can guide you. And when you are tested, be calm when the results come out. The health workers can help you digest the results, and also as religious leaders, we can stand with you in this journey. It is not the end. Let us reach out to one another, work with one another, and remember that that is not the end, because hope is vital in everything that we do. I remain Reverend Canon Joshua Mutable from Busoga Diocese. Thank you.
And this one is to everybody, to stay informed about the health, about his health in all corners. That's what is meant by this gathering. We also need to practice self-compassion and self-awareness. We need to remember, my brothers, that self-care is a journey without destination. It is about making conscious choices to nurture our bodies, minds, and spirit. So we need to make ourselves to make self-care a habit, because always we are together with self-care, unless you make your lives careless.
Because when we talk about the region I come from, Busia, Namayingo, we see that the teenage pregnancy is very rampant in that area. So I suggest that. Thank you very much.
And you know, we are learning a lot. You know, there are things, you may have gone to a seminary, to a Bible school, to a theological school, but you have not studied this. But as you teach, we are integrating it. For us, we are now integrating your teachings into our sermons to make it easier for our people to learn. Because whatever we speak here is biblically written. I sometimes see people talking of women emancipation, talking of girl child. You know, these zungos are very wise. It is there in the Bible. It's there in the Bible when people are fighting for inheritance, and another father had died with leaving only 5 girls.
To keep my brain active, and then I asked him, what can you do? And he says, I can be a security guard. And then I said, this is strange. And I was like, can you manage night duty also? Yes. I said, okay. Then when I sat down, I made a decision. I said, now for you, you are going to be during the day, where when we work, we see you around. And he's there doing. Now he has added the apostolate of praying. Sister, you go, look for money, work on the patients, but me, I'm here praying. So you find him with his rosary throughout at the gate. That's what I wanted to share, and I'm encouraging all of us. Don't ignore those people. They have wisdom, they have love. We have to keep them with us. Where they are is where we are going. Please let us support the elderly. Thank you so much.
Because we know that when it gets to culture and religion, there's a language you speak. So they review these materials, make sure that they are cultural and religious sensitive. And we are going to be asking you to give us more culture-related messages more scriptures, more surahs, to make sure that the materials we use next time, they will not be speaking the Economy Minister of Health. They'll be speaking your language. So when you're going to train, we want to have the customized and aligned materials. And now, last week, we were in Jinja. We convened the first regional meeting with, again, the same congregation, 4 districts in eastern Uganda, and it was an amazing experience. But the only difference, we didn't have a king. So now this one is a masterpiece, isn't it? Yes. People of eastern, people of Toro, can we clap and thank God? We rarely in our meetings get people like you seated, cultural, religious leaders of all faith, nuns, priests, bishops, pastors, and they're talking about things that concern everyone. So we are very grateful, and we don't take that for granted. On behalf of the board that is headed by the Deputy Mufti of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council and all the eminent religious leaders and the cultural leaders, we don't have a cultural leader on the board. Rosin, you help me. Next time we are coming up with an advisory board, we need a cultural leader. Tegem, that has done a lot of work in this region, we would not have gotten cultural leaders here. For sure, this is amazing, and we know that self-care in this region is not going to remain the same. And your prayers work. We've survived 8 years, and God is taking us to another level, and we'll continue to serve. Thank you so much.
I'm looking at self-care and antenatal messages. Yesterday, as we looked at, it has to be support, but I had it also in mind, but the Reverend wrote it clearly, that not only supporting, but accompanying our wives to what? Health units. Why? Some time back, it was a must that if you don't go with your wife, they would not what? Attend on her. Why? Because they wanted to, because the numbers to reduce on the infection of HIV. So it is very important that we accompany. During my time when I was still active, I could accompany my wife. But now that I stopped, I'm retired. My I took the the bishop talked about the queer behaviors during pregnancy. But here, let's remember that every pregnancy comes with its own complications. When the pregnancy comes, there are those who are, they change, women's change in the behavior, others are rude, others are so loud that they don't even see you move away from them, isn't it? Others, it gives them some behaviors like going to the toilet, sitting in the toilet, smelling, all those behaviors. What can we do? And what advice can we give to our communities and our parishioners? That we must be tolerant with them. Then, also there is an issue which was burning the doctor, but I think she left, whereby she was asking us, in a case where there is rape, and there are these people who are rape and maybe defilement, we as religious leaders, what do we do? One, sometime back during COVID, we had a program in Tororo here, and it was led by the Orthodox Church, Tororo and this Sebei region. Because the immorality was too high in those districts, according to the survey. But we would move with the licensing officers from the what? From the central police, wherever you have gone. We were moving with the CDOs, the district, all those probation officers. So what we handle as priests could be handled as priests, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But what is beyond us, you refer, and that either it is to be handled by what? Police. But you can't handle in a case where there is rape, where there is defilement. Because we had cases, for example, in the Kweni district, a girl of 11 years being married. That was not our case now. That case was to be handled by police.
That actually antenatal care does not begin from the hospital.
Yeah.
it begins at home. The moment your wife tells you she's pregnant, you are the first doctor to attend to her. So let us not have the mind of saying we escort our ladies to hospitals. In fact, it is our responsibility as men. We only take them, we don't escort them. Many men are complaining about why children do not resemble them. It is because scientifically and by faith that when a woman becomes pregnant and you distance yourself away from her, the child will never resemble you. So make sure my children resemble me. Make sure that when your wife is pregnant, you stay closer to her. Madam Jackie, these are just recommendations. These are recommendations.
Yes.
There is a call for us as religious leaders to love one another in order to see the aims of this call achieved. In life, I have never shared the same seat with a sister, Catholic sister. And let me tell you, my friend, I'm happy. Because of this VFHI, I'm now your friend. And how I pray that this trend continues so that we look at one another as a brother and a sister. Not an Orthodox, not this one is SDA, not this one is a Muslim. Because when we do that, then we are not going to realize the goal of this. So from here, my sister, remember to give me your phone number because you're my friend. I want to pray and ask the friends who are here.
I don't know whether this is a legal word. So you go and massage and she will feel very comfortable. And this is what the brother was saying, that why are we complaining of the resemblance, our children resembling other people in the village? Because you have distanced them, and it is now the border men and those in the village who are near them during the time of pregnancy. And therefore, they will take up the word. One, we have neglected our duty. So God is calling upon us to love and take care of what He has placed before us.
And that is about the old people or aged ones. And as you see, everyone who is here, behind you, there is somebody who supported you. That's why even I wanted to read for you some verses, because I was thinking about it. Some of us, we are brought up with the mothers. Among the verses, Allah says in the Quran that Allah is the one who created you from weakness, then after weakness, strength, then made after strength, weakness, and white hair. He creates what He wills, and He is the knowing, the competent. Which means that everybody will go through those steps. You are young, you are youth, and later also you'll be old. So you should know that. So whenever you treat well your parents, also you'll get somebody also to treat you when you come to that stage. That's why Allah ordered us in another verse that, and we have enjoyed upon man to his parents good treatment. His mother carried him with hardship. When you observe well this statement,
First of all, Allah talked about two parents. But now here, he's talking about mother only. Why? Which means that among these two parents, there is one who did more work. That's why here, Allah now is talking about the mother. He's saying that his mother carried him with hardship and gave birth to him with hardship. And his gestation and weaning period is 30 months. I will explain that. He grows until when he reaches maturity and he reaches the age of 40 years. He says, my Lord, enable me to be grateful for your favor which you have bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to work righteousness of which you will approve and make righteous for me, my offsprings. Indeed, I have repented to you, and indeed I am of the Muslims. Here, the mother is the one who takes a hardship, whatever, for everybody. Here, God said that pregnancy and breastfeeding, both of those things, they take 30 months. And then in another verse, he talked about breastfeeding only, that it takes 2 years. So for us in Islam, when we are coming up with judgments, we take those verses and we say, if here God said that the pregnancy and the breastfeeding, it takes 30 months. And then in another verse, it talks about breastfeeding only, that it takes 2 years. Then
it's done to help you grow well, mentally, physically, physiologically, spiritually. And that's why you are planning for the older age, not beginning when you are old. Some of you discussed retirement. Is it in this group? Yeah, I think so. You must prepare, therefore, to retire, but retire into a lifestyle that supports healthy aging. Otherwise, you'll find it very difficult to do what? To get off the busy schedule. So, government programs have mainstreamed aging into the different government ministries.
A long queue where Madam, when she would go, she would leave at 8, she comes back sometimes even at 4 a.m. or maybe 4 p.m. But when I started going, you know, you will give your wife money. So we go to the clinic or go to the hospital. But when you go yourself, there are small costs that you will incur, which you may not give us provision. So when I would reach out to the nurses that worked on us, I would give them a tip. So we developed a relationship with the nurses. And now what they will do, instead of us coming to queue, they will call us, we don't come on queue. Shall call you when the numbers, what? Has gone down. So they will call us when there are about 3 people left. By the time we get to the hospital, we are probably just waiting for one person and we get in. And up to today, we see the numbers. Some of those nurses were transferred, some of them got better jobs and left to Europe. But they still call, sometimes they forget the girl's birthday. At 4 days the birthday, someone is saying, hey, how is the young girl? I'm sending something for her birthday. This is a nurse who was doing antenatal.